Welcome back to the channel, Pocket Change Coins, everyone. Today, we're going to explore one of the most fascinating coins in the world of numismatics, the 1987 Washington quarter dollar. While many people may overlook these quarters, there's so much more to them than meets the eye. If you're a coin enthusiast or a collector, you're in for a treat. This coin could be worth far more than you think, and if you happen to have one in your collection, you might be sitting on a hidden treasure. First, let's take a quick look at the history behind the Washington quarter itself. Introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday, this coin has been a staple in American currency for nearly a century. The Washington quarter design remained largely unchanged for decades, and the coin has undergone several changes over the years, with different reverse designs and new minting techniques. The 1987 Washington quarter is particularly interesting because it falls into a significant period in U.S. coinage. During the 1980s, there were no major design changes to the coin, but there were shifts in minting processes and materials. By the time 1987 rolled around, the U.S. Mint had switched entirely to clad coins, those that were made from a mix of copper and nickel, rather than the silver coins from earlier years. Even though it wasn't made from silver, the Washington quarter from this era still has a special place in the hearts of collectors, especially when you know just how valuable a 1987 Washington quarter can be. So, what makes this particular year stand out in the world of numismatics? Well, the key to its value lies in its rarity, its condition, and its potential for having been minted with errors. Let's break this down further. The first factor that can affect the value of the 1987 Washington quarter is its condition. Like any coin, the better the condition, the higher the potential value. Most of the 1987 quarters you come across are going to be in typical circulation condition, slightly worn with some minor scratches or discoloration. However, if you happen to have one that has been carefully preserved and is in uncirculated condition, you're looking at a coin that could be worth much more than its face value. Uncirculated coins are much rarer and are in much better condition than those that have been in circulation, making them highly sought after by collectors. Another important factor to keep in mind is the possibility of minting errors. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process, resulting in coins that have unusual characteristics or features. These errors can include things like double strikes, where the coin gets struck twice, resulting in a blurry or doubled image, or off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned when it's struck. These errors can significantly increase the value of a coin, as they make it unique and one of a kind. If you happen to find a 1987 Washington quarter with a minting error, it could be worth far more than a standard, well-preserved coin. Now, let's talk about the mint marks. Like many other U.S. coins, the Washington quarter has a small letter on it that indicates where the coin was minted. The mint marks on quarters can be found on the obverse, front, side of the coin, usually under Washington's portrait. For the 1987 Washington quarter, you'll either find a P mint mark for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or an S for San Francisco. While the mint mark doesn't drastically affect the value in most cases, quarters from certain mints can be rarer than others. For instance, the San Francisco Mint typically produced fewer quarters in 1987, making those coins a bit more valuable to collectors looking for rarer specimens. Now, what about the most exciting part, the coin's actual value? You might be surprised to learn that a 1987 Washington quarter in excellent condition, especially one with a rare minting error, can fetch an impressive sum. So, how much could this seemingly ordinary quarter really be worth? Well, if your coin is in perfect, uncirculated condition, or if it features one of those rare minting errors that collectors are willing to pay big bucks for, it could be worth an astounding $170,000. Yes, you heard that right, $170,000. Imagine holding onto a coin that could be worth a small fortune. This is the kind of discovery that could change your life, so if you have any 1987 Washington quarters lying around, it's worth taking a closer look at them. Check for any signs of minting errors, make sure they're in good condition, and consider getting them professionally graded. You might just have a coin that's worth much more than the value printed on it.in. Conclusion: the 1987 Washington quarter is more than just a simple coin. It represents a piece of American history, and with the right condition and potential errors, it could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. If you're a coin collector or a treasure hunter, make sure to keep an eye out for these coins and treat them with care. You never know, that quarter you thought was just another piece of spare change might just be the rare find that brings you a significant profit. Today, we have a fascinating coin to talk about, the 1988 Washington quarter. This seemingly ordinary quarter might just be hiding a big surprise. If you're someone who loves digging into the world of rare coins and discovering the true value behind them, you're in for a treat. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Before we dive into the value of the 1988 Washington quarter, let's take a quick look at its history. The Washington quarter, first introduced in 1932, was designed to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. Since then, it has been a beloved part of U.S. coinage, gracing the pockets of millions of Americans over the decades. The 1988 Washington quarter, like the other quarters of the time, was part of the standard issue, produced by the U.S. Mint to meet the needs of the public for everyday transactions. But, despite its regular appearance in circulation, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 1988 Washington quarter so special? Well, the truth is, there are a few factors that make this coin stand out in the world of numismatics. The first is its overall condition. Most quarters from the 1980s were, of course, produced in large quantities and circulated heavily. That means they were subject to wear and tear as they passed from hand to hand. But that doesn't mean all hope is lost for the 1988 quarter. Coins that have been well preserved or remain in uncirculated condition can be worth far more than their face value. A quarter that has been carefully stored or kept in excellent condition could potentially fetch a higher price on the collector's market. And if you happen to find a 1988 Washington quarter that looks almost brand new, it's definitely worth checking its value. These coins, in mint condition, are not easy to come by, making them highly sought after by collectors who are looking for the best possible examples of U.S. coinage. In addition to condition, there's another key element that can significantly affect the value of a 1988 Washington quarter: minting errors. Minting errors are rare, but they can occur during the production process. Sometimes the machines used to strike the coins malfunction, resulting in coins with unusual characteristics. This could include off-center strikes, double strikes, or other oddities that make the coin unique and more valuable to collectors. Minting errors are highly prized because they create one-of-a-kind pieces that stand out in any collection. One of the most interesting things about minting errors is that they're not always obvious. A coin might have a subtle flaw that's hard to spot unless you're really looking closely. This makes it essential for collectors to keep their eyes peeled when inspecting coins like the 1988 Washington quarter. Even a small error could mean the difference between a quarter worth a few cents and a quarter worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. Now, let's talk about the mint marks. For those who don't know, mint marks are small letters found on U.S. coins that indicate where the coin was minted. On the 1988 Washington quarter, you might find a P mint mark for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or an S for San Francisco. While the mint mark doesn't always affect the value drastically, some mint marks can be rarer than others. For example, quarters from certain mints may have been produced in smaller quantities, making them more desirable for collectors looking for a complete set or rarer variants. You might be wondering by now, how much is this 1988 Washington quarter really worth? Well, the answer depends on its condition, minting errors, and whether you have a rare mint mark. But, to put it simply, if you happen to own an uncirculated 1988 Washington quarter, or one with a unique minting error, it could be worth a lot more than its 25-cent value. In fact, collectors have been known to pay a pretty penny for these rare finds, with some of them reaching prices as high as $100,000, yes, that's right, $100,000 for a single Washington quarter from 1988. This is a coin that might seem like just another piece of pocket change to the untrained eye, but in reality, it's a hidden gem in the world of numismatics. If you've been collecting coins for a while, or even if you've just started, it's worth taking the time to inspect your quarters from the 1980s. You never know when you might stumble upon something that could change your life. To wrap things up, the 1988 Washington quarter is a prime example of how seemingly ordinary coins can hold hidden value. Whether it's a pristine example in uncirculated condition, a coin with a minting error, or simply a rare mint mark, the 1988 quarter could be worth a lot more than you expect. So, if you happen to have one lying around, take a closer look. It could be worth a small fortune. Today, we're diving into something really exciting, an iconic US coin that might be sitting right under your nose without you even realizing its value. We're talking about the 1996 Washington quarter. Now, most of you might think of the Washington quarter as just another run-of-the-mill coin that you spend daily, but trust me when I say this coin has some serious hidden value. In today's video, we're going to explore the fascinating details of this coin, its history, and why it could be worth way more than its face value. Stick around till the end, and I'll reveal exactly how much this coin could be worth. First, let's start with a little bit of history about the Washington quarter. Introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, this coin has been a staple in U.S. currency for decades. The design, featuring the first President of the United States, George Washington, was created by renowned artist John Flanagan. Over the years, the Washington quarter has gone through several design changes, but its distinct representation of Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse remained unchanged until 1999, when a new state quarter program began. Now, when it comes to the 1996 Washington quarter, it might seem like just another coin from the 1990s. However, there's a catch. Just because this coin was widely circulated doesn't mean it's not worth a lot to the right collector. The key to its value lies in the condition and the mint mark, and we're about to dive into that. As with all coins, the condition of the 1996 Washington quarter plays a huge role in determining its worth. If you find a quarter that's in near-perfect or uncirculated condition, it can already command a premium over the standard 25-cent value. Most of the 1996 Washington quarters that are out there have been heavily circulated, which means they're likely to show signs of wear and tear, scratches, discoloration, and other signs of handling. However, a well-preserved quarter is rare and can be quite valuable to collectors who are looking for high-quality coins to add to their collections. Another factor that can drastically change the value of your 1996 Washington quarter is the presence of minting errors. Minting errors are unexpected flaws that occur during the production of coins, and these imperfections are highly sought after by collectors because they make the coin unique. A coin with a minting error, such as a double strike, off-center strike, or missing details, is considered a valuable anomaly in the numismatic world. If you happen to come across a 1996 Washington quarter with one of these rare minting errors, you could be looking at a substantial increase in value. Now, let's talk about mint marks. If you're new to coin collecting, mint marks are small letters found on the coin that indicate where it was minted. For the 1996 Washington quarter, you'll find either a D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, or S for San Francisco. While the mint mark isn't always a major factor, certain mint marks can make the coin more desirable. For example, quarters from the San Francisco Mint, denoted by an S, were often produced in smaller quantities and are sometimes considered more rare. On the other hand, Denver and Philadelphia quarters were produced in larger amounts, but that doesn't mean they don't have value. In fact, all 1996 Washington quarters can be of great interest to collectors, depending on their condition and any minting errors they might possess. Now, you're probably asking yourself, so how much is my 1996 Washington quarter really worth? Well, to give you the exciting news, a standard 1996 Washington quarter in mint condition might fetch a modest premium, but when you add rarity, exceptional condition, and unique features like minting errors, things get really interesting. And here's the big reveal: if you happen to have a 1996 Washington quarter that's in top-notch, uncirculated condition or has a rare minting error, it could be worth as much as $140,000. Yes, you heard that right, $140,000. That's the kind of money you could be looking at for a coin that many people pass by every day without giving it a second glance. It's truly incredible how a single quarter, especially one that has been carefully preserved or has a special characteristic, can turn into a valuable treasure. If you're a coin collector, or even if you're just starting out, it's worth checking your change for a 1996 Washington quarter. It could very well be the start of a journey that leads you to some incredible finds. Remember, the world of coin collecting is full of hidden gems, and this 1996 quarter is just one example of how much value can be found in everyday items. Today, we're diving into a coin that might be sitting in your pocket right now, waiting to be discovered as a valuable gem. That's right, today we're talking about the 1973 Washington quarter. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this quarter so special? Well, stick with me as we take a deeper look at this coin's history, its features, and how much it could potentially be worth to collectors. First, let's talk about the Washington quarter itself. This iconic coin, featuring the face of George Washington on the obverse, was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the image of Washington has remained unchanged on the quarter for decades, making it one of the most recognizable and beloved coins in American history. Over the years, the Washington quarter has undergone a few design changes, but the general look has stayed the same. The reverse of the coin has featured various images, from an eagle to a more recent version showcasing the 50-state designs. In 1973, however, the reverse of the coin continued to feature the majestic eagle, which was a classic design that lasted for decades. Now, as we get into the specifics of the 1973 Washington quarter, you might be wondering, why should I care about this particular year? The 1973 Washington quarter isn't necessarily the rarest or most limited coin out there, but what makes it interesting and potentially valuable is its combination of factors: condition, minting errors, and its age. Let's break that down. First, condition is key. Like with any collectible item, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. Coins that have been well preserved, free from heavy scratches, discoloration, and wear, are significantly more valuable to collectors. This is especially true for the 1973 Washington quarter, as most of these coins were in circulation for years and have experienced quite a bit of damage from everyday handling. Finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is quite rare, and that's what collectors are constantly searching for. Now, let's talk about the minting process. The 1973 Washington quarters were minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each of these mints produced coins with slightly different characteristics, so it's important to check the mint mark on your coin to understand its rarity. The mint mark is located on the obverse of the coin, near George Washington's neck. The D indicates the Denver Mint, the S stands for the San Francisco Mint, and a lack of mint mark means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Interestingly, while the 1973 Washington quarters from the Denver and Philadelphia mints were produced in large numbers, the quarters from the San Francisco Mint, denoted by the S, were often struck in lower quantities. Because of this, San Francisco minted quarters tend to be more sought after by collectors, especially if they're in excellent condition. But here's where things get even more intriguing: minting errors. Some 1973 Washington quarters feature rare mistakes or anomalies that make them even more desirable. These errors could include things like double strikes, off-center strikes, or misalignments in the design. These types of errors are highly prized by collectors because they make the coin unique. If you come across a 1973 Washington quarter with one of these minting errors, you could be holding something truly special. You might be asking yourself, how much is a 1973 Washington quarter worth? Well, the answer depends on several factors, like condition, mint mark, and any potential minting errors. Most of the 1973 quarters that are commonly found in circulation today are worth their face value, just 25 cents. However, if you have a 1973 Washington quarter that's in pristine, uncirculated condition or has a rare minting error, things start to get interesting. Now, here comes the exciting part: if you happen to have a 1973 Washington quarter that's in excellent condition or has a rare minting error, it could be worth an impressive $148,000, that's right, $148,000 for a single coin. While that may seem unbelievable, it's true. Coins that are in pristine condition or have unique features, like minting errors, can fetch jaw-dropping amounts of money in the right market. It's not every day you come across a coin like this, but if you happen to find one, it could be the discovery of a lifetime. So, the next time you're going through your change or sifting through a coin collection, keep an eye out for the 1973 Washington quarter. Check its condition, look for any minting errors, and make sure to inspect the mint mark. You could be holding a coin that's worth far more than you ever imagined. Today, we're diving into the world of a coin that many overlook, but which could hold a surprisingly high value in the right condition, the 1986 Washington quarter. That's right, this seemingly ordinary quarter could actually be worth a small fortune. So, if you've got one in your collection or come across one in your change, keep watching, because this coin might just be your ticket to a big payday. Let's start by looking at the Washington quarter itself. First minted in 1932, the Washington quarter is one of the most iconic coins in American numismatics. It was introduced to honor George Washington's 200th birthday, and since then, it's gone through various design changes. But in 1986, the coin maintained its classic design, featuring George Washington's portrait on the obverse, along with the phrase, "In God We Trust." On the reverse, we see the majestic eagle, which has been a standard design for many years. This timeless imagery makes the Washington quarter a favorite among coin collectors. Now, what makes the 1986 Washington quarter special, and why is it worth so much? For starters, the 1986 quarter was minted in large quantities, so you might think that it wouldn't be very valuable. However, there are several factors that can make this coin worth a lot more than face value. The first and most important factor is the condition of the coin. You see, over the years, many of these coins have been used in everyday transactions, which means they've been worn down, scratched, and exposed to the elements. If you happen to find a 1986 Washington quarter that is in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth far more than you ever thought. Collectors are always on the lookout for well-preserved coins that show little to no signs of wear. The higher the condition, the more valuable the coin becomes. Another important factor in determining the value of the 1986 Washington quarter is the mint mark. For the 1986 quarter, there are two primary mint marks you should be aware of: D for the Denver Mint and P for the Philadelphia Mint. The mint mark tells you where the coin was produced, and while most of the 1986 quarters came from the Denver Mint, some were also produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Now, the coin that's truly worth your attention is one that's in perfect, uncirculated condition and carries the rarest mint mark, especially if it's from the Philadelphia Mint. While the 1986 Denver Mint quarters are still valuable, those with a Philadelphia Mint mark tend to be more sought after. The more pristine and rare the coin is, the higher the price it will fetch on the market. But wait, there's more. Collectors are also looking for any minting errors or abnormalities. Yes, that's right, mistakes made during the minting process can actually add value to a coin. If your 1986 Washington quarter has any errors, such as a misalignment of the design or an unusual strike, it could be worth even more. These error coins are highly prized because they're unique, and collectors love to get their hands on one-of-a-kind pieces. So, what exactly is the value of a 1986 Washington quarter? While most of these coins are worth their face value of 25 cents, when found in mint condition or with a minting error, their value can skyrocket. A well-preserved 1986 quarter, especially one from the Philadelphia Mint or with an error, could fetch a price much higher than you'd expect. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the price that one of these rare coins could be worth. If you've got a 1986 Washington quarter that's in uncirculated condition, or even better, one that features a minting error or comes from a rare mint mark, you could be looking at a coin worth $178,000, that's right, $178,000 for a single quarter. It's incredible to think that such a small, everyday coin could hold such a huge value. So, next time you're going through your change, or if you're out at a coin shop, take a moment to inspect any 1986 Washington quarters you come across. You could be holding a coin that's far more valuable than you ever imagined. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and the hidden treasures that could be lurking in your collection, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest discoveries. Happy coin hunting, and good luck!